Okay. So, just say hello and say your name, and then we'll get started. Michi, you first, I guess.
Hello, my name is Sean. Uh,
Okay.
now what?
And now you call somebody else to say their name.
Start,
But then
start
he's
over.
saying our name.
Start over.
There is no starting over. Just do it.
I have to.
How about we
Now
just
it's
go
already
one after the
ruined.
other?
It's okay. This feels more genuine. Just go.
Luigi.
Hello, my name is Luigi. Jesus, go.
Hello, my name is Jesus.
Okay. And Shax, that's your cue.
Oh yeah, I'm the final one. My bad. My name is Shakur. Hello.
Okay. So, just to clarify, you guys don't really know much about the Percy Jackson series at all.
I
Nope.
watched the movies
Nope.
like a decade ago.
Okay,
Yeah,
Michi's seen the
same here.
movies. Luigi's
I
seen the
seen
movies.
I
That's
seen
better
one
than
of them
nothing.
like very long ago.
Okay. Shax, are you familiar with it in any capacity?
Um, no, not really. But don't worry, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Okay. Are any of you familiar at least a little bit with like Greek mythology or like some Greek stories?
Definitely Greek mythology. Yeah.
Okay.
The guy who picked up, what was it? The cow
The
or the goat?
cow?
What?
The strong dude, human.
You talk about Hercules?
Talking about yeah,
Yeah,
Hercules.
I've seen
heard of
the
him.
Hercules Disney movie.
Uh, Honestly, even the Hercules Disney movie will give you some Greek knowledge. Even if it's not great, it'll be better than nothing.
Kingdom
There's a
Hearts.
little
Yeah, Kingdom
Minotaur
Hearts.
dude that helps out Hercules.
No, that's a satyr. But
Oh, who that?
okay, I guess we can talk about satyrs because they are in the books and they are Greek myth. So satyrs are like half goat, half men. As far as I'm aware, there are no like lady satyrs.
Yeah, wasn't that one dude in the Percy Jackson
Yeah,
movies?
in Percy Jackson, the main satyr that you get to know is
Yeah.
Grover, who is Percy's best friend.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the entire book series just kind of falls around Percy, and there's a bunch of quests that he goes on because of a prophecy, which is a normal like Greek trope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as you guys were mentioning before we started, you guys mentioned Medusa, who does show up in the first book. If anybody has questions about that, now would be the time.
Yeah, why does he go to kill her or defeat her?
Uh, so he doesn't actually want to fight her. He doesn't even know she's there when he finds her. They were
Oh,
after a different thing in an area that she just happened to
yeah, was
own
they
and be
after
at.
the little
The
marble
little pearl
thingies?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
But
What are those pearls again? Yep.
in the movies. Oh wait, why did I do that? Okay. in
Right now,
in the story, the pearls are a way for them to come back from the underworld because they have to go there because of Hades has kidnapped Percy's mom in the first book.
Mm.
Oh.
In this point of time where Hades is in the underworld, what is his achievement or goals he's trying to, the thing he's trying to do?
In
Why
the
do you do
first
what
book,
he
he's
needs,
trying
basically?
to get the lightning bolt, which is like the whole plot device of the first book.
The powerful weapon.
Yeah, it's
That is?
Zeus's lightning bolt, which is like the
Yeah.
most powerful weapon amongst the gods.
Nice.
Yeah. But I will say it's interesting because in Greek mythology, Hades is generally not a bad guy.
Isn't it just like the ruler of the underworld?
Of the
Like,
underworld.
Hades
Yeah.
just kind of got stuck with the
Not
crappy
evil.
job, but he does it and doesn't really complain about it ever.
Oh
But
wow.
in most of the stories, including Percy Jackson, Hades winds up being a bad guy. And that's not just in Percy Jackson either. Like you said, in the Disney Hercules thing, Hades is a bad guy. In Clash of the Titans, Hades is a bad guy. And I think the reason for that is probably because even though in like Greek mythology itself, Hades isn't ever like evil, a lot of people were like in Greek times they would have been scared of death, and they would have associated that with Hades because he ruled the underworld.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. That sucks though.
Yeah.
Is there a movie in which he is good or neutral? I guess.
I'm not aware of any movies, but the game Hades that came out a couple years ago, he's not really a bad guy in that.
Oh, okay.
Wait. In the Percy Jackson movies, there was that one the dude that like burst out of a campfire. He
That
had
was
the
Hades.
giant horns. Ah,
Oh, but speaking of horns,
so I'm trying to remember.
like you mentioned in the first movie, when Percy first shows up to camp, do you remember what winds up fighting him and destroys their car in
Wasn't
the
a
movie?
minotaur.
It's a minotaur.
Yeah, I remember.
Specifically, it is the minotaur from the labyrinth of what's his name?
How to get out?
Daedalus, I think is
How
his
to get
name.
out of
It's
the labyrinth?
Icarus's dad. In the
Who's it?
books, they just say that the monsters, whenever they die, they go to the underworld and eventually come back out. So, in the original story for the labyrinth, the Minotaur dies. So I guess he just came out that way. That's the only like real difference in the book, though, as far as I can tell, is that he's just not in the labyrinth.
Oh, okay.
But the labyrinth actually does show up in the books. It's in the fourth book. That's what the whole book is about. Actually, they have to go into the labyrinth.
And he fights him there.
Sorry.
He fights the Minotaur there.
No, he does not. The Minotaur does not show back up in
Oh.
the books after that first encounter.
Oh, okay. What about the Cyclops?
There are Cyclops.
Oh yeah.
There are a few.
I
Was
remember.
there
Yeah.
I remember there was a giant Cyclops and then also
Yeah.
the good guy Cyclops, which wasn't that Percy's brother or something?
Yeah, Percy's brother is a Cyclops. His half brother is a Cyclops.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
forgot
that's
about that.
because in Greek mythology, Poseidon is the father of the Cyclopses. Don't ask me how that works. I don't know. I don't remember how that works.
That was my question.
Like Percy has two half brothers, doesn't he?
Percy? As far as I'm
Yeah,
aware, his only
Percy.
half brother is Tyson, who was the Cyclops guy.
I believe Triton is also another half brother of his.
Well, technically, any Cyclops would be a half brother. But
I guess. But you just won.
yeah,
That's what I remember though. The Cyclops and Medusa.
Which
Cyclops and Medusa.
goddess controls the mist?
The
The
mist.
what?
Yes.
You'd have to elaborate a little bit more. I'm not sure what you mean.
Never mind.
Oh, what else? What else? Wasn't there like a like a sea serpent thing.
A sea serpent thing.
Oh yeah, it was like
Yeah.
he rode it or whatever. It's like a giant seahorse looking thing.
Oh, you're talking about what is it,
What's
kelpies?
that?
I think is
I
what they're
have no
called.
clue. You're the one that knows.
Probably.
I just remember what it looked like. Kind of.
Um, yeah.
What?
So there's a connection between Percy and like horses because that's another thing that Poseidon is responsible for in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
I know
Horses?
how that worked, but I'm not going to explain it because it's not something I want to talk about.
Huh.
Oh.
But now I'm curious.
So, like, as a result of that, Percy can understand horses. It's also why, in the later books, Percy knows a Pegasus named Blackjack, and he can actually ride around on him and talk to him.
That the same
Oh, that's
Pegasus in
cool.
the Disney movie.
No, not the same
Ah,
Pegasus. But in the books, it's an interesting point because Percy's normally not allowed in the sky at all because Zeus would probably kill him.
why? What?
In the books, the gods are all kind of really very picky about what the other like kids of other gods are able to do in their domain.
Ah,
And because Percy is a son of Poseidon, Zeus has a very
yeah.
high like you're not allowed up here type thing. So like he's not allowed on planes because he would die.
Oh wow.
Does that make Percy a demigod?
Yes, Percy is a demigod.
Yeah.
His mother is a human, and his father is Poseidon.
What about the trident? Who does that belong to?
The trident is just a symbol of Poseidon, though technically, I guess Poseidon does own one, if that's your question.
Oh, okay. Doesn't Percy get one too though in the movie?
Yeah,
It's
why doesn't it?
in the movie, Percy summons like a water trident. He doesn't ever do that in the books.
I
Oh.
don't remember that.
He's got a very estranged relationship with his dad. He's not super happy with him in the beginning. He warms up to him more in the later parts of the series, but he's still not like buddy
Yeah, I
buddy with him.
remember the
Okay.
scene where the water heals
Speaking
him.
of relationships, what are some of his romantic relationships?
Percy,
Yeah.
he winds up dating a girl named Annabeth, who is a daughter of Athena.
Oh,
But they make that an interesting point because it's one of those things where Athena doesn't like Poseidon, and it goes back to Medusa because Poseidon at one point in his life he wanted Medusa for something when she was a regular lady, and
yeah.
Medusa didn't want said thing, and so she ran into a temple of Athena for protection. And Athena was petty and decided that the best way to protect her would be to turn her into a gorgon.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's sad.
that's
Athena,
actual mythology too.
what's she? The goddess of war?
She's a goddess of wisdom and battle strategy, so technically sort of a goddess of war, not really.
Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha, gotcha.
Okay, so back to the Medusa thing. Doesn't he defeat Medusa by making her look at a mirror?
Yes,
Which in
Is
turn
she
that like
stares at her own
leads.
reflection, and then he cuts off her
Yeah.
head.
is that like a thing? Or did they just make that up for the movie? The book?
Uh, when Hercules fights Medusa, I think it's Hercules. It's Hercules or Perseus, one of the two. He makes her look at herself in his shield reflection, and that's how he cuts her head off.
Uh,
Is Percy based off of Perseus?
His name is based off Perseus, but other than that, he has no relation to him.
who is Perseus?
Two
Perseus
different
is a son
people?
of Zeus.
Ah,
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
But they are like two different characters, yeah?
Yes, Percy Jackson is a different character from Perseus, who is in actual Greek mythology.
Okay.
Percy Jackson is a character created by Rick Riordan for the purpose of his book series.
Oh, so he ain't
Percy
real.
Jackson's not.
No, Percy Jackson is not a real mythology figure.
Oh,
Oh,
I did not know
dang.
that.
I also did not know
You learn something new every day.
that. How about the guy that wears the flying shoes?
Hermes?
Right? Yeah.
Hermes is a
Right.
real Greek god. He is a messenger of the gods. And a god himself, which is kind of confusing.
How did he get the flying shoes?
Jesus.
In the
Hmm.
in the books, they are given to him by a character whose name I am forgetting right now.
Supposed to
And
know this?
I am, you're correct. What is his name? Hang on. I guess while I'm looking through this, are any of you familiar with Chiron?
Nope.
Who?
Chiron? In the movies, he's a centaur,
Centaur.
Centaur.
the centaur guy.
I don't know what a centaur is. I don't know who that is.
Chiron is in a few Greek myths, and he's kind of like he's the equivalent of like Phil from the Hercules movie. He trains a lot of like demigods.
Yeah.
What is this guy's name?
I don't know what
Okay,
it is.
I don't know that I'll be able to find it anytime soon. So, oh, Luke. His name is Luke.
Nice.
Luke is the son of Hermes, and he hates his dad, and that's why he tries to
Why?
overthrow the gods and summon the
Uh,
Titan. I can't remember his
But
name.
why does he hate his dad?
He hates his dad because his dad did the same thing all the gods in the series do, and he left the kid. He went to go get some milk and didn't come back.
Dang.
You know what I want to know?
Hmm.
In the final battle for one of the movies, I can't remember. There was like a creature. It's like a thing on all fours, and it had like a scorpion tail. I
Oh,
think. What the heck was
I
that?
don't know what that is. I know what you're talking about. I want to say
Yeah.
it's just a monster made for the movies, but I could be wrong. I'm not actually sure if that is anything other than
Does Hestia appear in Percy Jackson?
no.
Who the heck is
Hestia
that?
is not a well-known Greek goddess. I know why you're asking me that, but no, she does not ever appear, or as I'm aware, she's not even mentioned in the book series.
Ah,
The only like gods who are mentioned in the first series are like the well-known ones. Like you've got Hades, Zeus, Poseidon, Athena, Ares. Uh, what's her name? Persephone,
Aphrodite.
What
Aphrodite.
about what about Freya?
Freya is Norse.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not Greek.
Norse?
Yep, Norse
wrong
mythology.
mythology.
What's the difference?
Uh,
Vikings.
Norse mythology is not even from the same like continent as Greek mythology. There's a lot of
Oh.
similarities between the way they do some things. Like there's some gods that are the same. Like they have a god of war and a god of lightning and gods of wisdom and things like that. But they're from different areas.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No. Oh, what are they
Yeah,
called? Creatures.
Freya is lumped in with Odin, Thor, that bunch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like the recent God of War games.
But
Oh,
Freya
what?
is a goddess of love, and so she'd be the equivalent of like Aphrodite.
Yeah.
Though
And
Aphrodite doesn't
Odin.
get mentioned much in the Percy Jackson series. She gets mentioned more in the sequel books that But those books also focus a lot more on some other majority myths, and they're getting way off topic.
Yeah, I was gonna say Odin would be the equivalent to Zeus.
I don't know what it's called.
We'll come back to that then. Anybody else have other questions or remarks?
Why is the Hydra in the movie a janitor?
Okay, so in the Percy Jackson series, there's this thing called the Mist, and it's I think what Joker was referring to earlier, and I just don't remember the answer to his question. And the Mist basically makes mortals and even the demigods, they see things differently when the mist affects them. It's how they get away with monsters being in the modern world, basically, in the books.
That's the mist thing Jesus was talking about, no?
Yeah, I think that's what he was referring to.
Uh,
I don't know the answer to this question. I don't remember the name of whoever it is that's in charge.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's why the Hydra appears to be a bunch of janitors in the book and in the movie, is because the mist is making it appear as though it's just a bunch of really weird guys.
But I know we wouldn't know this, but what were the green little marbles again? I completely forgot.
The green marbles are just a way for the characters to come back from the underworld. They're a plot device.
Okay.
The earlier on in the movie and in the book, though, there's a scene where they go into a casino type thing and they eat these lotuses. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, what's that all about?
So
Like,
that is based off actual Greek mythology. There's
just stay
I don't know
there
if you
for, like,
remember the
some
Odyssey
time.
with like Jason and the Argonauts. That. But they
No.
wind up on an island at one point with these ladies who want to keep them there forever and would eventually kill them. And I think that's what the scene with the casino is based off of. I think in the actual story, the lotuses are something you had to eat, and that's what happens in Percy Jackson. In the movie for Jason and the Argonauts, they do something. I would say it's like wine and food or something in that.
Isn't the Odyssey based off of Odysseus?
Who?
Maybe Odysseus is a different character.
But it's just looking up stuff on Google.
Hey, whatever works to keep the conversation going.
There's like this green creature. I think it's called like a Gaia.
Gaia is a goddess of the earth, and she's also technically a titan. She is not mentioned in the original Percy Jackson series, but she shows up in the sequel series and is a very important character there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What'd she do?
That's she's basically the earth personified. But in the sequel series, she's a bad guy, I think.
Nature.
She basically decided that the gods and all of their children, all that, were terrible, and so I think she was going to wake up and more or less destroy everybody.
Very evil Mother
crazy.
Nature.
Kind of surprised nobody has asked questions about like Kronos, because he's talked about in the second movie at least, and he's kind of an important Greek mythology thing.
That name sounds familiar.
That's all checks, no?
Well,
From God of War, no?
No, Kronos is the father of the gods. He's the father of Hades, Zeus, and Poseidon.
Oh.
So wait,
yeah, they kill him
what?
because he ate them.
he's not a good guy.
So?
He ate them?
Yeah, in actual Greek mythology, Kronos ate his children, and I think Zeus is the only one who got away because his mom managed to hide him.
She pretended to made him eat it or something like that, I think.
Who killed him then?
He ate him.
Yeah, she substituted him with something else.
Yeah. So he was under the impression he ate Zeus.
What was the point
Who-
of eating them?
Kronos had heard a prophecy, which is another huge Greek trope, which also goes in Percy Jackson, that his children would be his destruction, and so he decided the easiest way to get rid of them would be to eat them.
Why eat them?
I don't know
Well,
why he
there's
ate them specifically
many
instead of
other
doing something
choices that you
else,
could have
but
chosen to do before.
Who killed him?
who killed him? Zeus when he got older. He freed his siblings and they killed Zeus. Or not Zeus, they killed Kronos.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me how the siblings were still alive in the Titan's stomach. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, what? How?
Well, I mean, they're gods, no?
Yeah, they're gods.
Eaten by a god?
Oh, true story.
Daddy god.
Kronos' dad, I don't remember his name. He's something other than a Titan. But when they killed him, they castrated him and threw his, stuff into the ocean, and from that came Aphrodite. That's how she was born.
What?
Yeah, that's actual Greek mythology.
That's crazy.
The goddess of beauty came from that. Come on.
So who's the mother?
There is no mother. If you want to
The
say there's a
water?
mother, I guess say the ocean is the mother.
Uh,
Does Olympus have a purpose in Percy Jackson?
Olympus, okay. Olympus is at the top of the what's the
mountain.
building in New York? It's the biggest like
Yeah.
skyscraper or whatever. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
ain't that where they had the fight at?
They had the fight right outside that building
Yeah.
because Percy was trying to bring the lightning bolt back to Zeus, so that way he would be left alone by the gods.
Yeah.
And in the Percy Jackson books, they basically say that the gods go wherever the people go, which is why the Greek gods are in America.
Mhm. They're in the city.
Yeah, that's why they're in New York.
It's
okay.
just like on top of the building.
Yeah, there's like a secret
Yeah,
button you
goddess
can only
temple.
see if you're a demigod or god. And it takes you to
What if
Olympus.
somebody accidentally pressed a button?
Olympus isn't mentioned too much in the books. It's where the final battle at the end of the series happens.
Yeah.
Where the prophecy ends because they're. I guess I can talk about the prophecy because that's another Greek trope that actually does get brought up in the Percy Jackson books.
A lot of prophecies.
There's a lot of prophecies in Greek mythology. So I will say that is one thing Percy Jackson definitely gets right is prophecy.
Okay.
But basically, the prophecy is that upon a child of one of the main three gods being Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon again, upon their 18th birthday, they may or may not be the destruction of Olympus and all the gods. That's kind of the basis
May or
of it.
may not be.
Yeah, the prophecy is vague as crap.
Yeah, it's not much of a prophecy.
But that's why in the books, after the gods heard that the three main guys had decided they weren't going to have any children anymore, which is such garbage if you know anything about Zeus from actual Greek mythology.
What,
that
man gets around.
That's putting it lightly.
That is putting it lightly.
I do have a question. You said that the prophecies was something that Percy Jackson gets right.
Mhm.
What does Percy Jackson get wrong in the movies, in the books?
Okay.
Like, compared to, like, actual mythology.
Compared to actual mythology, well, like I said before, Hades is a bad guy, which he shouldn't be.
Hmm.
Poseidon is nice, which is also not true. But that's probably because Percy's his kid. And he's trying not to look super evil, I guess. Something they kind of get right. I don't know if you remember. You might not even know this. In the Hercules story, he has to do these labors. I think he has 3 of them. And one of them, he has to clean these uncleanable stables. Percy winds up having to do the same thing as Hercules. However, basically what Hercules did is he just picked up the stables because he's strong enough to do that, and he launched them over into a river. And Percy spends 2 days trying to figure out how to clean the stables because he can't do that. And eventually he remembers, oh, wait a minute, I can just control water, so he brings the river to the stables. I thought that was kind of an interesting change on that myth. I don't think he ever has to do any of the other labors. I think that's the only one, because he's trying to please, oh god, what's the guy's name? He's a king, he's chained up basically in the underworld forever. I can't remember his name. I don't remember his name, but there's a king in Greek mythology who basically fools Thanatos, who's the god of death. Do not be confused with, he's not Hades, but he works for Hades. He basically... No, Thanatos is never once mentioned in the Percy Jackson series. This is actual
that one
myth.
guy, I think that was in the movie, right? And it was like, is that a rich dude in a large house in the underworld or whatever?
That was Hades.
In like a human form.
Yeah, Hades, in that movie, he appears as the flaming demon in the campfire and then as the rich dude who has issues. Oh, speaking of, you just reminded me. So in the movie, they made it seem like Persephone hated Hades. I don't know if you remember that. Persephone is his wife.
Yes.
That is not true to Greek mythology at all. In actual Greek mythology, Persephone genuinely loves Hades and is very glad to be with him when she can for half the year.
Half the year? What?
Yes, so in Greek mythology, Persephone can only stay in the underworld for half the year, and it's because she went down there basically to get away from her mom, who is, what's her name? Demeter? I don't know how you say it. One of those two. And she went into the underworld to escape her mom, but her mom really wanted her to come back, so she made up a story where she ate half of a plant in the underworld, so she can't be in the actual, above ground in Olympus for the entire year. She has to go to the underworld for half the year. And she genuinely enjoys her time there in actual Greek mythology.
Why does she enjoy it?
Because she doesn't like being above ground. And it's stated that during that half of the year when she's above ground is why winter happens. Because she's with her mom, who controls winter.
I don't think winter happens for a whole half year.
No, but it doesn't happen for a whole half year. She goes to the underworld, she comes back for a little while, she has it spaced out. But yeah, that's something Percy Jackson gets wrong in the books, is that Persephone hates Hades, which is not true.
Is that all, Johnny?
Is that all? It could be. We don't have to talk anymore. We're way over time. If you guys didn't know,
What?
we are at 34 minutes.
God, that's an A+.
It better be, bro. I guess anyway, to end things off, Percy Jackson changes some things. It's true-ish to the source material. It takes liberties here and there, but there's no substitute for actual Greek mythology. this is a way to like ease people into it.
Yeah.
They're good movies.
The books are better. Somebody had to say it. It might as well be me.
You gonna read it to us?
You want me to read it to you? We'd have to. It'd take us a few weeks to get through it.
Next assignment,
What?
Johnny's teacher. Make it to which he has to read as a book.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
So
Anyway.
podcasts have just been reading the first book.
We mostly just went over stuff in the first book. We talked here and there about other things, but anyway, any other comments? Anything?
No.
No, I
Let us
learned a
know if
lot.
you don't get an A.
Yeah. Hope you do get an A.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now I'm out of question.
Would've
I
been
guess
better.
one last thing, because it is something I think should be talked about.
Right.
Greek stories are typically tragedies, and I'll say Percy Jackson gets this right too, because there are so many things that go wrong. It's
That's right.
mind-boggling how many things go wrong for this poor kid. Like, the second he finds out he's a demigod, he's thrust into danger and told, hey, by the way, you might destroy the world. And all he really wants by the end of the series is, like, have a normal life and just, like... I think by the end of the series, he even wants to go to college, even though he hated school.
I have one more question.
Okay, yes.
So in the movie, they were on a yacht. The bad guys,
Yeah.
they were on a yacht, remember? How did they afford the yacht?
Probably
I
smelled
guess
it.
Luke made a deal with demons or something. I don't know. They don't explain that.
In the movie, it just has a yacht.
In the movie, he's also, like, working to resurrect Kronos and already almost has him, which is not exactly what happens in the book. Like, I don't think they ever explain how he affords the yacht, okay?
I just wanted to know, man.
Alright. I guess on that note, that's the end of that. If any more comments and concerns, if not, then I'm going to stop recording.
Yeah, no.
No, I think we good, Johnny.
Yeah.
Alright. Thank you guys for helping.
I now
Yeah.
edit
Yeah.
it. Edit it.